I'm sure you are familiar with this quote. Just when you're about to give up, in that split seconds, about to abandon your dream, if you persist, you would attract success. And majority of you took this personal. You stretched, you persisted, you did every single thing necessary to achieve that desire. And guess what? The universe rewarded your effort with failure. It's very unfortunate because it begs the question, if after pushing those through those pain, if after going against the headwind, if after giving every single thing towards achieving a desired outcome and the result never materializes, what then do we have control over? How then can we predict our success? The answer is no one can. None of us can. The only thing we have control over is the input. The only thing we can determine is how much effort, how much sacrifice, how much dedication we put into achieving the desired success. The output is something way beyond our comprehension. Just like if you put a kettle on top of a stove, the only control you have is the water put into the kettle. But as far as the boiling process, that's between the universe and the kettle. So you do not have direct control over the heat of the fire and the process of how which it heats. The only thing you can do, the only thing you do have control over is the input, the intensity of the fire. You can control how fast you want it to burn. As touching the boiling process, you have no control. But the point I want to highlight is very painful. It's very painful. A majority might sit. In fact, if you've not experienced this kind of situation in your life, then shelve this message. I'm not talking to you. But there are people who are doing every single thing, dedication, blood, sweat, desire towards a set goal. You get up in the morning and there's no purpose, there's no motivation, there's no drive. It appears as though you've lost the essence of living. You've lost the desire to move on. This has nothing to do with discipline. This has nothing, very little, in conjunction with motivation. Because in order to be disciplined, you need to at least sustain a pathway. You need to at least know what the end product, what the end goal is. If you're in this situation, life becomes tasteless. You lose every will to live. And I must warn you, if you're not careful in these instances, that's where depression creeps in, suicidal thoughts, various kinds of addiction, the past life hitting on you because it appears as though destiny in and of itself cheated you. You gave up those addictions, you gave up those friends, you gave up every single thing, and life hasn't held up its own side of the bargain. And you're a very smart, intelligent individual. If I've given up addiction XYZ, if I've given up this kind of lifestyle in an attempt to in an attempt for a little sniff of success, it's only logical for me to take what I gave in exchange for something that never came. It's very painful. It is very painful to hold up in those kind of situations. It is very painful to stand your ground. It is very painful to drag yourself. You see, at the infancy of the journey of success, you were motivated, you got up early in the morning, you did your job, you did every single thing. At least you had an understanding of where you're headed. Right now, you have no idea. It is painful. Every single effort is in the similitude of pipe going up your asshole. It is very difficult. It is very painful. My friend, you cannot guarantee success in life, but if you stop, you guarantee failure. Take this YouTube channel for instance. I make a lot of reference to YouTube, not necessarily because that's the worst thing that happened to me, but because it's an example majority can relate with. It's an example that checks out. It's an example you can see in real time by scrolling and hitting the oldest video button. It's an example that you don't have to go to various research links, various research routes in an attempt to verify. It's an example staring you right in your face. I posted 550 videos before one took off. 550 videos before one took off. And this is in the space of a year and a half. It gives you an insight to my daily regimen. So posting video consistently, daily, never missing a single day, giving it every single thing I got, motivating, inspiring. Imagine speaking for 22 minutes or 15 minutes, 50 minutes on a very good day and you get zero views day after day. What is my offense? I thought if you put in the work, if you show up daily, if you're consistent, give it your all. Make sure it's one of the best videos out there. Success would naturally gravitate. What then happens? It's like the story of the farmer who worked diligently, tilling the ground, and when it comes time to harvest, his efforts is defeated by a hurricane or his efforts defeated by animals. At the end of the day, a harvest is certain. Conversely, in fact, that scenario might be enough to discourage most farmers from putting in work, from putting in effort. But conversely, what is the alternative? The alternative is no harvest. No harvest becomes guaranteed. Extrapolate this concept to your own life. If you work as hard as possible, give it your all, become motivated, stay, do every single thing, even in times of trials and tribulations, you do not stop. Say you don't get the results. Say your efforts are defeated. But if you stop, failure is guaranteed. Even if your efforts are defeated, there are a lot of things you learn along the way. There are a lot of lessons that comes to mature you. You learn how to do business. You increase your vocabulary. You learn leadership skills. Tons of experience from that one event. So my friend, as painful as it seems, as diligent as you've been, nowadays it takes effort to get out of bed. Imagine how I used to feel from just a YouTube channel. Not to talk about my endless business or my vast empire I spend so much time maintaining. This is just one YouTube channel and a lot of lessons, a lot of experience, a lot of threads has been devised. Do not be that guy who at the end of his life, when he's 80, he regrets not going to the gym. He regrets not going to exercise. He regrets not pursuing that business. He regrets giving up as a consequence of failure. He regrets not asking that girl out. He regrets not focusing on his finances at the infancy of his career. He regrets not being financially intelligent. He regrets not subscribing to this channel for daily motivation. He regrets not understanding the rudiments of finances. He regrets not taking care of his parents. He regrets every single action taken leading up to that point. Unfortunately, time has passed. Time has passed. There's nothing you can do about it. I said before you life and death. I said before you blessings and curses. I cannot force you. I can only advise you. Please, life. As always, my friends, it's a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.